Well, there is a fortnight to go until the government's landmark social media ban. We've known it's been coming for a while. The Prime Minister and Communications Minister have fielded questions from students now. These are the people it actually applies to, remember, about how it will all work. Kids under 16 will be prevented from accessing platforms including Instagram, Snapchat and Twitch from December 10. Unsurprisingly, many are curious, perhaps an even stronger word than that, about the enforcement measures.
How will this delay be upheld, and what measures are in place to prevent people from bypassing the security systems and creating fake accounts?
The responsibility is on the social media companies. Now, we know that social media knows more about you than some of your friends know about you because of the algorithms and the way that it works.
So this is due to start on December 10, but there is a fresh legal challenge. It's been lodged in the High Court today. The Digital Freedom Project has filed proceedings in a bid to stop the government's legislation, which it says improperly robs 2.6 million young Australians of the right to the freedom of political communication. Joining me live is Shadow Communications Minister Melissa Mcintosh. Your party likes to talk about freedom. What do you make of this legal challenge?
I don't have the full details of the challenge as it's merging, and it obviously will be a court case, but I'm not surprised that people are challenging this. And to hear just, a couple of weeks ago, and I've been warning about this, that digital ID will need to be used to verify ages, which means these big multinational companies are collecting people's data through a third-party operator. There's just too many questions and people don't like it. I'm not surprised kids who might be on YouTube doing their thing, are challenging.
We had someone on the program saying, well, this is the best way young people can participate in any sort of political debate and have their voices heard. Is that a fair point to make? Do you have sympathy for that, or do you hope this challenge fails?
No, of course I have sympathy for young people who want to be involved online. This is not an easy thing, and I have to go back to the fact that the Coalition did support the ban, but ever since then, I've coming into this role, I've questioned whether it's going to work or not. I think there's a high risk of failure on this, and the absolute disgust that Australians have that they've been hoodwinked into having to provide digital ID. So there are many aspects.
When you say having to provide it, that's not the government necessarily enforcing that. There were multiple options for each social media company on how this would be enforced.
And I've spoken to many of the companies, and even meeting with Meta, they've got a third-party provider, but they're very cautious. If somebody's might not meet what their age verification face technology is saying, then they'll ask for your driver's licence or your birth certificate. You've got to remember in that trial was 34%, I think, at risk of getting it wrong, which is reasonably high. So the age verification technology has been rushed. The government said there would be no compelling for digital ID, yet here we are. As you said, a couple of weeks out. But it isn't compelling.
The government itself is not saying you have to give a digital ID.
The government is set the legislation. The government oversees the E-Safety Commissioner, who does have the powers to compel digital ID. She said it to me herself and then said, but I don't intend to use it.
Right. So where do we sit? Does the Coalition support this or not?
We support protecting Australian children. We want this to work in the interests of Australian kids, but with platforms only still being dribbled in, now with digital ID and court cases, there's a high risk that it won't fulfil its intent, which was to protect Australian kids.
Could you say specifically what you do differently when you say it could fail? Because most experts say if big tech companies want this to work, they will make it work.
Well, I think the setting of the date of December 10 and rushing it through and having a lot of PR exercises along the way, like going to New York and announcing our success before it even happened. So a real focus on the execution of it.
So the date, okay, so you'd delay it? What else?
I probably wouldn't. Going back in time here, if we won the election, there's no point in, we don't have the benefits of the full extent of government departments. We barely have staff, thanks to the government's cuts of staff. So the work that we can do, of course, the dates, of course, ensuring that the technology is appropriate, and of course, ensuring that people aren't compelled to use digital ID. They're the main things. Right,
but isn't that again within the means of social media companies? They have many ways of detecting people's ages. If they want to do that, they don't have to.
You've got to remember, some of these social media companies are only getting told now that they're included in, and I'm not standing up for the big tech companies at all, but being told like a couple of weeks out you're including and you must do everything in your power to ensure get kids off and keep them off, that's not very reasonable or realistic.
Won't it be the case, though, that even there could be a company that marks itself as Facebook for kids, and then that will get brought into this. There will be companies or social media platforms added to this all the time. They'll just have to adapt to it, won't they?
I actually am probably now more concerned about what's coming down the line with AI and technology that we haven't even thought about yet, and kids' access to that, and moving off social media and exploring what other options there are. So there are big concerns.
So unintended consequences.
Unintended consequences.
But that would happen even if the... So what does that mean? Do you support it or not? Because if there are unintended consequences you think are more concerning, does that mean the social media ban's now a bad idea?
Well, these are things that have happened even since we went to the election. Like, AI is moving so quickly, and discovering in the news recently that kids have best friends that are AI bots. So they are concerning things that are coming down the line.
So technology advancements, and I suppose the prospect a kid gets a VPN.
Yeah.
So does
working around it.
So regardless of how well it's rolled out, because it will drive some people to other things. Yeah. You're now saying maybe the whole idea is not a good one?
I'm saying to you, we support the intent, and we did support the legislation. We were part of. It was Peter Dutton as opposition leader that wanted this, and we all backed that. I wasn't the Shadow Communications Minister at the time. Perhaps I would have had a different stance if I was, and made sure that everything, that the unintended consequences weren't going to come to fruition so much. But the intent to protect kids is good. It just feels like it's transforming into something else. When adults are compelled to use digital ID, that is a big problem for many Australians, and I bet many of your viewers.
When you say adults compelled, I mean someone, I guess, that is 18 and might look young.
You look pretty young, Tom.
I think I'll be all right. If the camera zooms in, the wrinkles are there from the children. But so just on this matter, it sounds like you're wavering as to whether you even think this is a good idea.
I think the point is I'm concerned about its failure, and then what happens after that.
But let's say it's successful in...
Oh, if it's successful,
what
great.
Happens.
Let's celebrate success.
You're saying the unintended consequences might be worse than the positive impact of the ban.
But do you know that the government can't even say right now what success is or what failure is? And they're actually publicly declaring that there will be holes in this and it might not go right. So, what's the point then? What is the point then, Tom, if the intent of protecting kids and it fails?
Well, because nothing's 100%, right? So you can have a rule saying children under 18 can't drink, but if 10% are still drinking, it doesn't mean the law's a failure.
I really hope so, and I hope that it works.
But you seem to have genuine reservations now on the cusp of this, as you say, because of AI developments and so on, whether this is a good idea. So does the coalition still support this or not?
We support the intent of protecting kids, and I've met with families. It's really heartbreaking. So yes, we support the legislation.
But
I don't support the rollout of it or what the government's done.
But when you say the unintended consequences element, are you sort of reserving the right to, if a month in you're hearing stories about the unintended consequences, then you might fully support?
We'll measure that at the time. I'm very alert to it on every aspect of it, including the implementation. And I've met with stakeholders, I've met with the platforms, I'm speaking to families. So I am right across this issue, and you'll know when I know if things aren't going right.
So you sort of, you have more doubts about it now, supporting it for now, but some serious doubts.
Correct.
I understand what you say about Labor's rollout, but even about the whole concept of it's successful itself, because of where kids might go elsewhere.
Do you know that, Tom? I'm even concerned by the fact that kids can now roam openly on YouTube, and those protections, the age protections that were in place by YouTube for under 13s, and now no longer exist. Kids will still go onto YouTube, so what can they see now? Those protections are no longer in place. And I'm not standing up for another big tech company, but these are the unintended consequences.
Okay. I mean, I think the YouTube element is what you can see when you're not logged in is pretty restricted, but we've given that a fair ventilation. Might just ask you quickly, you had 40 of your colleagues, your dearest friends, for drinks on Monday, looking to establish a bit of support long term? What's that about?
The drinks, I love Christmas, and I invited actually every colleague in the coalition, both senators and House of Reps, and it's a busy time of year. So that part of it is probably a bit more of a media story.
You're a Christmas person rather than a gather round person.
No, I had great colleagues there from the Nats and my Lib colleagues, and I've publicly expressed, my ambitions for the future and where I want to take
just clearly what
Australia.
They are, because you spoke to the Australian about this. You are saying, yes, I do want to be leader one day.
Yeah.
It's that clear.
Yes, I do. I love Australia. I love our country. I'm very, very passionate about our people, including Middle Australia, who are feeling very let down by the major parties right now. We saw today inflation rise, higher energy prices, really suffering. We need to have pragmatic policies.
Let down by the major parties, but you're a member of one of them.
Well, yeah, that doesn't mean we can't change things. Let's
So
focus.
your party's letting down Australians right now?
No, I know you want me to say that. I'm saying Australians are let down by the direction of our country right now. And I think it's time for us to focus back on Middle Australia, including people in Western Sydney.
Melissa Mcintosh, appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.